All right, today we are breaking down a really crucial billing code. Now I know billing code might sound a little dry, but stick with me because this one unlocks some of the most vital mental health services for kids and teens. Getting this right can literally change a young person's life.
So let's start with a reality check. About 1 in 5 adults in the US deals with mental illness every single year. And for so many of them, that journey, those struggles, they didn't just start overnight. They often began way back in their youth.
So that brings up a huge question for anyone in healthcare, right? How do we make sure that the kids who are most at risk get the kind of intensive, specialized care they need, not just to get by, but to actually thrive in their own homes and communities? How do we fund that?
Well, a big part of the answer often comes down to understanding one specific billing code. You can think of it like a key, really, that unlocks the funding for these absolutely essential services. Okay, let's dive in and decode this thing.
Here it is, HCPCS code H2020. That's the official name, but what it really means is this is the code for billing short-term, super-intensive, and highly individualized therapeutic services. We're not talking about your standard weekly therapy session here. These are targeted, goal-oriented interventions designed to tackle specific behaviors that are getting in the way of a child's success.
And what's so powerful about H2020 is the holistic approach it funds. This isn't just one thing, it's a whole process. It starts with a really thorough assessment, then moves to creating a custom treatment plan, one-on-one interventions, and even crisis prevention. And, critically, it includes training and support for the family. It's truly a full-circle model of care.
But you can probably guess, billing for something this comprehensive is, well, it's not simple. There are a lot of complexities, and making a mistake can put all that vital funding at risk. So let's look at the common pitfalls that providers really need to watch out for. Yeah, providers run into a handful of common challenges all the time. Things like documentation that's just not detailed enough, or maybe billing for a service a specific payer doesn't cover. Even something as simple as miscalculating the 15-minute time increments can get a claim denied. And every denial means a potential loss of revenue that keeps these programs running.
But here's the good news. For every single one of those pitfalls, there's a proven, expert-backed solution. It's all about shifting from just fixing problems to preventing them in the first place. You know, instead of inconsistent notes, you implement a solid electronic health record system. And to catch those little errors before a claim goes out the door, you use specialized billing software, like the tools from Behave Health, which are literally built to navigate the tricky landscape of codes just like H2020.
And this is what that proactive approach looks like in practice. A checklist like this turns what can feel like overwhelming regulations into a clear, manageable plan. It's about making sure your staff is always trained, running your own internal audits, and keeping a close eye on any changes from payers. This isn't a one-and-done fix. It's a commitment to an ongoing process. You know, when this code is used correctly, it's about so much more than just getting paid. The positive effects create this ripple across the entire healthcare system. It really matters for everyone involved, the patients, the providers, and even the payers. For the kids and their families, the impact is, frankly, life-changing. I mean, this quote from the Journal of Child and Family Studies really says it all. The research is clear. These intensive, home-based services lead to huge improvements. And this is so important, they reduce the need for kids to be placed outside their homes. It helps keep families and communities together. And if we break that down, you see these incredible concrete benefits. You're talking about personalized care that tackles their unique challenges, which leads to more stability at home and in the community. The kids learn real coping skills, their families get the support they need to help, and it all adds up to a much better shot at long-term success. Now, for the providers and the insurance payers, it's kind of a balancing act. On one hand, H2020 lets providers get reimbursed for these critical services, which makes their programs financially sustainable. For payers, investing in this kind of preventative care can actually save a ton of money down the road by avoiding costly hospital stays. So what's the trade-off? A much heavier administrative burden, with a serious demand for detailed documentation and proof that it's all working. And looking to the future, you can see this whole landscape is evolving. We're slowly moving away from just paying for services rendered, that's the old fee-for-service model, and heading toward value-based care. That means getting paid based on how effective the treatment actually is. We're also seeing telehealth becoming a bigger piece of the puzzle, and even talk of expanding these services to other groups. The future is all about proving results. So, here's the bottom line. Mastering a code like H2020 is about so much more than just filling out forms correctly. It's really about building a strong, compliant, and sustainable program that frees up providers to focus on what they do best, delivering exceptional, truly life-changing care.
And that really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. As the entire model of care shifts towards proven outcomes and integrated tech, making sure your billing practices are on point isn't just a good idea anymore. It's absolutely essential for survival and growth. So, the question is your practice really ready for what's coming next?